Welcome everybody to episode 9 of AWT, Andrew's Wrestling Talk, where I bring you the news and reviews of wrestling all around the UK and much more. I've got an announcement tonight as well on my next Q5 that will be happening on the 12th episode of AWT, and I will announce later on who will be on my Q5 in December. So normally we'd start off tonight with Fight Nation Wrestling that you can watch, Fight Nation on YouTube and FightNationOnline.com. But Wednesday Night Wrestling has finished now for the rest of the year. But we did have, from this past Saturday, we had the Future of Fight from Fight Nation, which was an absolutely cracking event. We had the 4-man tournament, and we had James Castle versus Adam Maxted and Mark Andrews versus Joseph Connors. Now, out of all of that, James Castle and Mark Andrews were the ones that qualified to go in for the British Heavyweight Championship match at the end of the night. Also, in that night as well, we had the tag team match. Liquid Dreams defeated DND. Also, Howley and Sid Scala defeated the Swords of Essex. Also, Mr. Anderson was scheduled to face Josh Bodum, who was a no-show, so there was an open challenge as far as I was aware. Joseph Connors had accepted the open challenge of Mr. Anderson, and Mr. Anderson had defeated Joseph Connors as well that night. Also, Lord Gideon Gray had defeated Psycho Phillips. That must have been great there. And of course, the Fight Nation British Heavyweight Championship match, Mark Andrews versus James Castle. Now, we watched a little bit of this on Facebook that they lived on Facebook that night, and what a quality match it must have been. And as you must know, our new Fight Nation British Heavyweight Champion is none other than Mark Andrews. Absolutely fantastic. It must have been a great night, and if any of you were there, I know a couple of people there that were there watching Future of Fight. It must have been a cracking event. Also, this past Saturday as well, WCPW had loaded this week, and I tell you what, personally for myself, I thought this was probably one of the best episodes of Loaded that you could have watched here on WCPW, that you can always watch on YouTube at 8 o'clock. Match 1 that they had was Joe Hendry versus Doug Williams, two top-class athletes, and Joe Hendry really needed a win here in WCPW, with Williams taking most of the control of this match. But out of nowhere, the local hero hits the freak of nature to get the pinfall and gets the 1-2-3 on Doug Williams. Now, at the end of this match, Joe Hendry had announced that he wants to challenge Joseph Connors at Delete WCPW for the WCPW Heavyweight Championship in a match none other than the Steel Cage, and it will be WCPW's first ever Steel Cage match. Will Joseph Connors accept the challenge? Should get to that in a minute. Match 2 that we had was the debut of the Swords of Essex, Paul Robinson, Scott Wainwright, making their debut at WCPW, and they went up against Mustache Mountain. And oh yes, the Swords of Essex have made their debut. Oh, I couldn't believe it. I was so happy to see these guys here in WCPW. Love these guys. These guys are absolutely brilliant. But towards this end of this match, Scotty Wainwright, with his feet on the ropes, managed to get the pinfall on Tyler Bate. It was such a back and forth match. Real tough match there for Mustache Mountain. But the Swords of Essex do win their debut match here in WCPW, and it wouldn't surprise me if the Swords of Essex also go into the tag team tournament for the first ever tag team championships. Also, we had an internet championship match, and it would have been El Ligero defending against either 3 opponents: Prince Amin, Gabriel Kidd, or Marty Scott. And with 65% of the vote, Marty Scott was the one that El Ligero will be facing that match. And what a quality match this was. Right off the bat, Marty Scott hits him with the umbrella to take control of this match. And then right at the end, with Steve Linsky, I think it is, knocked down, a distraction of the referee. And Marty Scott picks up the belt. He goes to hit El Ligero with the belt. A duck and roll from El Ligero and a pinfall, and retain the title on Marty Scott. And I tell you what a cracking match that was. Awesome. So also later on in the show as well, Josie Coniston came out and went on and on how he's such a dominant champion and beating Martin Kirby and Cody Rhodes, and also almost ending Drew Galloway's career. So we now know that the reason why Drew Galloway is injured and had to back out of loads of events over the UK this weekend is because of Josie Connors, apparently. But yeah, so also out the back, Josie Connors was out the back, and Gabriel Kidd had pulled him over as well. And oh, actually, quickly, he did accept the steel cage match as well. Actually, thinking about that, and so yeah, so we will be having the first ever steel cage match for the WCPW Championship, a Delete WCPW. Anyway. Yes, Josie Connors was at the back, and Gabriel Kidd, who was trained by him, as far as I'm aware, who was asking him, you know, what are you doing here, man, and all this kind of stuff. Josie Connors saying, you don't know me, and all of this. So, Kidd challenges him to a match. So, next week on Loaded, it will be Josie Connors versus Gabriel Kidd. Also, the main event was the rematch of Martin Kirby versus none other than the aerial assassin, Will Ospreay. This was the rematch back from a fair few months ago. And what a quality match this was. Very backwards and forwards all the way around this match. Backwards and forwards. Anybody could have won this match until Pacitti comes down. And with a knockdown Steve Linsky, the Swords of Essex come down, but Martin Kirby manages to dodge Paul Robinson and manages to hit a low blow on Scotty Wainwright. Scotty Wainwright had brought down a baton. He drops that baton, but Will Ospreay smacks Kirby round the back, knocks him down to the canvas, pulls down his knee pad and hits him with a smashing knee to the face on Martin Kirby for the pinfall. 1, 2, 3, and the victory there, and it is now 1-1. And also, Adam Pacitti there had announced that a Delete WCPW, it will be Kirby versus Ospreay, match 3. Winner. Take full-on glory there. And that is a WCPW Delete, so we now know so far it will be Will Ospreay versus Martin Kirby. There'll be more matches from the tag team tournament, and also it will be Josie Connors defending the WCPW Heavyweight Championship inside the first ever steel cage against Joe Hendry. Absolutely classic, brilliant show what they pulled off there on Loaded, and very looking forward to next week, and very looking forward to deleting WCPW. Awesome. So moving on to some results that we've also had as well back over this past week. So CSF Pro Wrestling was on this past Sunday. They had a show called Showdown, and they had a great little card here. Chris Walker defeated James Baker. Charlie Garrett defeated Buzzsaw Branson. Also the CSF All Nations Championship match, champion K. Jutler versus Eddie Ryan. It ended in a double countout, so he retains his championship there. Also the Bruisers defeated Reese Taylor and Owen Wall. Also Doug Williams defeated J.D. Knight. So that sounds like they had a great event there, and their next event is on Sunday the 27th in Frome, and we, as far as I know here, you've got Paul Malen against Reese Taylor. And you've also got the All Nations title, Kay Jutler versus Jack Stars. Plus so much more, more than likely to be announced for that event as well. And of course, they've also got, on the 22nd of January, they also have Cody Rhodes, which will be in action there as well. Also, Big League Wrestling that was on this past Sunday in Exeter. they absolutely tore the house down as far as I'm aware. Haven't got all the results here on this event, but I do know that Dave Mastiff was injured and wasn't able to compete. But the big thing that I do know about this is the World Heavyweight Championship match, and Mr. Anderson had defeated MVP to become the first ever big league World Heavyweight Champion. So congratulations to Mr. Anderson. Plus, on their second show, which is on February the 17th at Exmouth Pavilion, they had the huge announcement that they will have Alberto El Patron, which is awesome. And as far as I'm aware, I think as well they've got tag team titles coming as well. I think that's what's coming there for Big League Wrestling. So yes, us here at Andrew's Wrestling Talk are definitely going to try and make it to that one, as I wasn't able to make it to the one that has just gone, which was a real shame. A bit gutted about that. I was really looking forward to getting to that. Shame really. But that's the results that I have here at the moment on AWT. Yeah, so that's it again. There's the advert again for UPW. I cannot go and talk on how important this is and how much history will be made at this event on Friday. And I can't wait, because I'm going to be there with Andrew's Wrestling Talk, and I'm going to give you a huge review on episode 10 on Live by the Sword. I tell you now, it is going to be a history-making night. You must be there. If you want to be a part of this historic event, make sure you buy those tickets on Skedaddle, or you can buy them on the door on the night. But make sure you're there. Weymouth Riviera Hotel this Friday. You do not want to be missing that. Believe me. What else have we got here? We have got some upcoming events as well. So Pro Wrestling Chaos that we've got on Saturday the 26th of November. We've got, as far as I'm aware on this card, we've got Mike Bird versus Big Grizzly versus Eddie Ryan. Also, we got Soraya Laxton to go against Jetta. Also, Eddie Dennis with a mystery partner, as Alex Steele is injured, to go against the Magnums. And also for the King of Chaos Championship match, it will be Wild Boar versus Jimmy Havoc. Should be a cracking match right there. Also, another one that we've got here on Saturday the 26th of November is Hope Wrestling. And they've got I've got a few matches here from that card as well. So we got Shogun J to go against Ginny Money. Also, Hustle Malone to go against El Hef. Also, Kelly Six and Bobby Taylor to go against Chase Williams and Jade. Also, Kai Payne versus White Tiger versus Tilly Lee versus Jay Gardner. Should be a very interesting event there at Hope Wrestling. Also, XWA have got their event coming up on Sunday the 27th of November, and they've got a lot of former stars here. They've got the Pitbulls and Hornswoggle, former WWE superstar, to go against Savvy Island, which is Savvy Sid Scala, Adam Maxted, and Gideon Gray. Also, we've got Jody Flinch to go against Flinches. versus Johnny Storm and Paul Terrell. Also, we got a women's tag team match as well. Also, they've got Paul London versus Thomas Dawkins, Tommy Dreamer versus James Castle in an Anarchy Rules match, which sounds completely brutal to me. Awesome. And Doug Williams defending the XWA Frontier Sports Championship against MVP. So that should be another cracking event there from XWA. And of course, another event that I'd like to talk about here, we've got another match here that's been announced here, and that's the UPW Next Generation that's on the 10th of December at the Abbey Manor Community Centre. If I can actually get my words out today. In Yeovil. And we've got Eddie Kenway versus Curtis Chapman. We've also got Grayson Rivas to go against Jason King. Also the 2-on-1 match, Psycho Phillips to go against Joshua Knott and Brendan White. Also Hotshot Allen to go against Johnny Gale. And Lion Kid versus the Jackal. Awesome. And don't forget that you can also buy UPW's second anniversary tickets, and you can buy them from me here on AWT on my Facebook page. That's on the 19th of January at the Weymouth Riviera Hotel, and we have Cody Rhodes, and Cody Rhodes has yet, as far as I know, is yet to answer Yeston Reese's challenge, and we could be Yeston Reese versus Cody Rhodes. And will it be for the UPW Championship? I tell you what, that'd be interesting if it was. I don't think it will, but it'd be interesting if it was. UPW, hear what I'm saying. Also, South Coast Wrestling. Sunday the 17th of December in Bournemouth. It will be at the Beaufront Community Centre. I haven't got any matches just as yet. The card is still waiting to be announced, but I will be there as Andrew's Wrestling Talk. We will be there as well. Don't forget you can buy those tickets on skedaddle.com as well. And that is all I've got here on the upcoming of the events this month. Now moving on to the cool and uncool wall that I wanted to do last week, but I ran out of ink out of my printer. But now I have the ink, so I can do the cool and uncool wall this week. So for the last 2 weeks, I've been putting up things on Facebook. 2 things. One of them was the list of Jericho. That's it. You just make the list. The list of Jericho. Is it cool and uncool? It was very, a lot of people think it's cool, but then a lot of people don't like Jericho. But the votes, I've counted the votes, and it is, may I say, it is cool. That's right. So the first thing to go into the cool side of the cool wall is the list of Jericho. Personally, I think it's hilarious. I love it. You've just made the list. And the crowd go nuts for it. If you don't like it, then there's something wrong with you, really. Anyway. That's what I think anyway, and that's what the votes have come in as. Also, the second one that I've been posting up as well was Bobby Roode's gimmick. Glorious! That's right. The glorious gimmick of Bobby Roode. And the votes are in on that. And I believe nobody thinks this is uncool. Everybody loves the fact that Bobby Roode's glorious. So that's that then. So all of that is on the cool side. So that's brilliant. Great to see that. So another two things going up this week on for the cool and uncool. Well, one of them had already been put up by a members here of the AWT, my wife, Jodie Andrews. So the first one that she had put up, she decided that is it cool or uncool if the Shield was to get back together? Well, personally, myself, I think it's uncool. You'd be taking 3 top superstars from, you know, the top line to put them into the tag team division again. It just seems rather pointless. And I still think it's a little early. I know it's been 4 years. I know it's been like 2 years, something like that. It's been 4 years since their debut from this past Survivor Series. But I don't think it's a good idea if they were to get back together. But you guys have been voting, so I will be counting the votes in next week. Also, is another one that I think this is very uncool, and that is James Ellsworth. Do you think James Ellsworth is cool or uncool? I'm telling you now, if you all vote against me, I'm putting it in the uncool still. So, but yeah, send me your votes and let me know what you think of James Ellsworth. I tell you what, I know that Booker T don't like him, but we'll soon see. But I generally think it's uncool. I don't think he really deserves to have this much spotlight. I don't even really find it that funny either. I mean, there has been times and been points where it's been quite funny, but anyway, I'm not so sure myself. Anyway, moving on to some news. Now, I'll tell you what, we've had some awesome events going on all over the UK this week and this past weekend. But I'm telling you now, the one thing that has really stood out on social media this week is the Ring of Honor Reach for the Skies tour. And what some events they've been having here. And on their first event, I believe that Will Ospreay won the television championship from Bobby Fish. And then on the next one that they had, he teamed up with Marty Scurll to go against, I think it might have been I don't know actually. I'll have to have another look at that. But anyway, on the third one, it was Will Ospreay versus Marty Scurll for the television championship, and Marty's walked out champion. So in 48 hours, the Ring of Honor TV title has changed hands after it's been with Bobby Fish for months. Months. Yes, brilliant. And also, these past WWE events that we've had this past weekend, NXT TakeOver in Toronto and WWE Survivor Series. I've seen a lot of what people thought about Survivor Series. Me, I gave it a 6 out of 10. I didn't think that the main event was brilliant, really. I think it could have lasted a little bit longer. He ain't that unfit. And it has made Brock Lesnar look like complete weak, and everything that's been building up for him to being this beast that's unstoppable has been almost completely pointless, especially after the match that he had with Randy Orton splitting him open and all of that. I'm very surprised that I gave NXT TakeOver an 8 out of 10. I thought that was an absolutely cracking event, and due to that, will Shinsuke Nakamura also be going up to the main roster now? I've been reading that there are rumours that he could be possibly moving on to the main roster. Where would he be going? Would he be going to Raw? Would he be going to SmackDown? But I can't see any other reason why Shinsuke Nakamura would have dropped the NXT Championship this early. Also, it was the Bella Twins' birthday this week. Both of them had turned 33 on Monday. Happy birthday to them. And yeah, that's like most of the news that I've got here. Now, my next guest on the Q5, I had announced it on Monday on Facebook, and It will be when I get to UPW Next Generation in Yeovil, and my special guest and the first lady to be on the Q5 will be none other than Sky Smithson. Awesome, absolutely over the moon. First woman to be on the Q5, over the moon on who it is. This should be very interesting, and I know that she's got a lot of fans out there, so you guys want to be tuning in for that one on episode 12. I believe I'll be bringing this to you as the another debut of another one of the Q5. And hopefully, maybe when I get to UPW this Friday as well, I might be able to get another Q5 as well. We'll soon see what happens when I do get there. You never know, I might have a surprise Q5 for you next week. You never know. Also, don't forget to sign up to all these guys on Facebook and follow these guys around on Facebook. All of these companies are absolutely fantastic, and there's still a lot going on through December. So they're not all shutting shop through December. Not like Fight Nation, that seem to be shutting shop all the way through December and January. There are still plenty of events on, still some awesome things going on around in the British wrestling industry. Fantastic. Don't forget that you can also you can listen to TWS, Total Wrestling Show, every Sunday. Believe me, you want to get onto the live chat, have your say on what they thought about Survivor Series and stuff like that last week. I don't know what they're doing this week, but get on there every week. I'm on there every week as well. It's awesome. Absolutely fantastic. Dan Barnstall, Brotherstall, Bruce, Lissy, Sybil, all of you. You're fantastic on that show. And then, of course, don't forget to subscribe to me on YouTube and follow me on Facebook and share me around. I will be bringing my episodes to you straight to Facebook now as well as they will be uploaded onto YouTube as well. So, yeah. I have been your host, Carl Andrews. This has been episode 9 of AWT, and I will see you next week for the huge review of Live by the Sword for the history-making event of UPW. I shall see you then, and good night.
Impact! The never see